Hello, and today we'll look at how repeats UPSC repeats some questions or topics periodically. And if you prepare those topics, then you will be able to answer 60 to 70% of the question easily in the paper. In this video, we'll see at political theory, meaning and approaches topic, the first topic of paper 1, and in that we are looking at behavioral approach subtopic within that. If you see from behavioral approaches, two questions have come, one in 2024 and one in 2021. One is a short note on just very straightforward question, and second is examine the importance of the behavioral approach in political theory, what led to its decline. It is not a straightforward, rather a very analytical question. So now you need to create model answers. First, that your answer should be able to answer questions from 10 to 20 markers. They should be able to answer questions that are straightforward or analytical. So that means your answer should be very holistic in its approach. One answer that you can shorten or lengthen or curate as per the demand of the question. So how do you go about preparing such answers? Preparing a model answer for PYQs. First is have a definition or an introduction for the topic. In this, you can prepare a definition of behavioralism. It could either be a quote from a thinker, or it could also be a generic definition, but the definition must be holistic, looking at all aspects of behavioralism, so that you can use it whether it is a very straightforward question or it's an analytical question asking to examine or critically evaluate. You should be able to use that definition in questions varying in their demand. Second thing is using key terms and concepts. What I mean here is key terms, the words or the terms that have been used by thinkers or theorists who are writing on the subject matter. Remember, it's your use of key terms and concepts that will differentiate your PSIR answer from your GS2 answer. So ensure that you have a list of key terms and concepts that are relevant to that topic or subtopic, and that those terms should be mandatorily used in your answers. And another important thing is having thinkers' views and quotes. A lot of students have a doubt, if I write the answer, I use key terms also, but I'm not able to quote a thinker, or I'm not able to use the name of a thinker to enrich my answer. The thing is that you should be able to quote at least one to two thinkers in your answer to substantiate what you are saying. That will show to the examiner that you have read the subject, you are aware of individuals or theorists who have written on the subject, and what are the dominant discourses within that subject or topic. So it is important that you have a list of thinkers relevant to each topic, and if it would be better if you have a quote also, but it's okay if you're not able to quote exactly, you are able to paraphrase, that will also do, but ensure that you have at least one to two thinkers. You do not need to create a list of 10 to 15, avoid that, keep it 1 to 2, maximum 3 to 4. Now analysis. This is another important aspect of your answer. Every answer should have an analysis. Most of the students, what they do is they write descriptive answer. They keep describing it, a theory, or a topic, or whatever the question is asking. The point is, are you able to analyze? Analyze would involve that you are able to link it to something, you are able to quote examples, you are able to give implication of a topic or a theory or a concept, and you are also able to link it. If it would be great if you're able to link it to current affairs also. Provide a critical evaluation, and here also it's important that you are able to quote some thinker or a theorist. Your PSIR answers gain richness when you're able to quote a theorist or a thinker and substantiate your argument with their view. It is just not that you learn three thinkers and you just quote them. You should able to have some argument which are then substantiated with some key thinkers and their views. That is what makes for a good answer. And lastly, a conclusion. It would be difficult to prepare a model conclusion because the demand of the question, because it would depend on the demand of the question and you might not be able to predict that well in advance. So have a very generic conclusion that you can you know curate as per the demand, as per your answer in the exam hall. So moving on, behavioral approach. First is definition. So in this definition, all aspects of behavioralism have been covered. So it can be used for questions with varying demands, whether they are straightforward, whether they are asking you to examine it, or whether they are asking you to critically evaluate it or analyze it. You can use this definition. The behavioral approach focuses on the empirical study of human behavior using scientific methods. It emerged in the late 1940s and gained prominence during the 19th this thing. So it's a very holistic definition. It is giving what is it about. It's giving a historical background also. So this is, try that you have a definition or introduction of similar manner on each topic. Next, key terms to use. These are some terms that must be used in your political science PSIR answer. Quantifiable data, regularities, theory building. So students can write these as which is data, with data collection, or use data to formulate theories. These are just generic way of communicating, generic way of writing. These are actual terms used by the theorists who have written on the subject. So you ensure that you have a collection of at least 10 to 15 such terms per topic that you need to write in your answer, that are very specific to the topic and that are not generic. These aspects, comparative analysis, interdisciplinary study, these are some things that need to come in your answer. Next is key thinkers and quotes. So you identify some thinkers that are dominant in that topic or that have written predominantly on that subject matter and that are relevant. So in behavioralism, it's David Easton, Robert Dahl, Almond and Verba, and Charles Merriam. So you see what are their quotes or what are their views. See here, David Easton has given the word regularities. So this becomes a key term. You go through their quotes, you go through their views. It make sure that it is not more than 1 to 2 lines in, because you do not have the time or the space to write large lengthy answers. So make sure that you are only picking up the crux of their argument and incorporating that in your answer. Another important aspect that I would like to draw your attention to is works to quote, specifically in behavioralism. So if you're defining behavioralism, you are saying, okay, this is about empirical study, this is about scientific method, it's about regularities and creating theory building, all that. But you should also be able to quote some works that happened or that were done under behavioral movement. So a lot of students, what they do is they write the definition, they even include thinkers and what their views are, but that's the crux. When you are able to actually quote what were the political works or theories that happened during this time that actually utilize the behavioral movement to arrive at some conclusion at some theory. If those are missing, then your answer is not complete. So ensure that you are able to quote some work related to behavioralism. Moving on, critics and viewpoints. Now, of course, if there is a theory, there would always be critics of it. Make sure that you are adding that element also in your model answer. You are able to add thinkers, what is their particular critique. So here David Easton is also very important. It is important that you identify at least key thinkers that are crucial or critical in any answer for that topic. So if it's David Easton in behavioralism, also post behavioralism. So if you're writing on Plato, it would be Popper. If you're writing on democracy, it has to be Macpherson, C.B. Macpherson. So such kind of, authors or such kind of theorists need to be identified well in advance, and you need to know what they have said related to that particular subject. Now there's another one, Herbert Simon. So having this 2 to 3 thinkers list will help you to be ready in your exam, that if whatever the demand of the question, and you can curate your answer or your model answer to address it accurately. So ensure that these elements are included in all your model answers. Conclusion. Try that your conclusion includes element of critique, element of what has been achieved, or the good aspect of whatever you are writing. In behavioralism, the fact that introduced empiricism, and forward looking if possible. However, what you should avoid in PSIR answers that you generally do in your GS answers, normativism. It is not your place to tell that what is what should be. You are concluding a question on post behavioralism, or you're concluding a question on behavioralism. You can say, okay, behavioralism led into post behavioralism. You can write like this, but behavioralism is what should be followed in political science, or post behavioralism is what should be followed, should be avoided at all cost in PSIR answer writing. You do that in your GS answers because you're talking about real world issues or real life issues, and you think that okay, this is how it should be done. But in theories, remember, it is not your place. You are just there explaining, examining, analyzing theories, and their impact, their implication, and what they led to, or what impact they had. But it is not your place to privilege one theory over another, so avoid that. So that is all for behavioralism. We'll see you next time for another topic. Thank you.